Want
Yeah,
me to
I'll
do it?
start off. So, hello everyone. I am Tyrone.
I'm Kelly. No last names needed.
Yeah, you know who we are. And why do you know who we are? Because we are podcasters who have both had our own shows.
hmm
Um, People know me from Pop Law, did a few years ago, entertainment law based podcast, and
Right.
talked about pop culture stuff. And then Kelly.
I did. Thanks for asking. And we're both like, it's not like we're not doing that anymore, but I thought that. Um,
Well, I'm not doing Pop Law. She's still doing
right,
Thanks
right,
for
right. I
Asking.
mean,
Yeah.
so what I mean is like, it's not out of the question that he may do another podcast. He's just not doing Pop Law anymore. Point
Right.
is, but this one we wanted to do together because we feel like we got things to say at a time when a lot of people are saying things that maybe they shouldn't. like,
They shouldn't because they don't know what they talking about. They don't have the range. A lot of y'all, when we talk about getting, scheme set up by Todd and the FBI and the
to
CIA,
come to you with the bullshit.
dropping microphones in the
In
black community. We're talking about the ones who literally are like the 5G is what gave us COVID. Like that's the ones that y'all need to have the microphones taken away. But the folks like us who put in the work, who got degrees, who pay our taxes, who are not scamming down in Atlanta, like give us the microphones, please,
Right.
so we can have our voices added to the mix. Because the other thing too is that obviously we are both black and queer, and in the space, a lot of it tends to be focused on reality reviews and stuff like that. It's interesting and it's mess, and I appreciate mess like the best of us, but there's more to our identities, our communities. There's more stuff of interest than just, the mess. And so, and it doesn't have to be super wokey dokey. Like, we're not about to be down here like we on MSNBC, girl. Like, y'all got.
Right. We are not 60 Minutes.
Like, so we're not going to be recapping everything that happened down to the White House, down to the legislature. Like, we know what happens, and it will come up at some point because let me tell you, they doing some fuckery. But in terms of what we want to talk about, we're going to talk about the stuff that happens in our regular lives. And, it may overlap with pop culture, may overlap with, what's going on politically. But otherwise, like, that's not the point of this. We're not trying to save America with this podcast.
Right. And most importantly, like Tyrone just said, we're trying to get, like, if you listen to a lot of these podcasts, you would feel like and I'm calling us the LGBT croissant community because just that Q after, I always get it confused, just croissant, right? So, you would think that we all speak with the same voice and from the same point of view, and we really do not. And I feel like we need a variety of voices because I know, speaking for myself personally, no offense, but I'm tired of hearing a lot of shit from a lot of you because, like Tyrone said, it's nonsense. It is the scheme set up by Todd to come to us with the bullshit. And what I think people don't realize, and I have been saying, if you listen to my podcast, I've been on this since 2016, and I probably sounded crazy in 2016. I don't sound so crazy now because I called this shit from the beginning. But what a lot of people don't realize is that we could go further, but I'll just jump straight to it. There was a Supreme Court ruling called Citizens United in what year was that?
2015?
Yeah, 2015, 2000.
2010 actually.
Yeah. And that ruling was very consequential, and it has directly led us to where we are now. Because prior to that, if you were doing anything that was politically motivated or politically active, or you were trying to influence an election or people's voting in any way, you had to state that specifically.
Yep.
And you could only be a certain kind of organization with a certain kind of dollars, and there was rules to that, which clearly, because we're talking about elections, Citizens United basically said that corporations are people.
Yes.
And therefore they have the same speech rights as you and I, who are human beings, which is
It's insane.
foolery. Which
Insane.
is foolery. That
Yes.
is not what the original founding fathers meant when they said freedom of speech. And so
That gets you the Hobby Lobby case too, where they were able to stop providing not even abortion services. It was literally just
benefits or something.
yeah,
right?
it was just benefits for that were related to like women and abortion
Right.
and contraception. That's what it was
Right,
too.
because of their
And-
religious beliefs.
And that, yes, because the corporation had a religious belief, and so they were
Which is-
able to opt out of it, even though they were receiving government money for their
Right.
business as well. And
Right.
so, but like you don't get to Hobby Lobby and a lot of this other stuff that came after it without Citizens
Right.
United.
And the most important prong of that is what a lot of people don't realize, and I have been saying, what these companies and political action committees do is because there's no transparency anymore. So you can set up shell company, this company, that company, this media company, that media company, and the media company's goal
Yeah.
is to overturn the fucking election and put whoever and destroy democracy. And so they'll form. I'm not gonna say their name, but let's say Black Blog that people listen to, Inc. And that's their media company, and they hire people to push the talking points that are currently being pushed. And
Right.
that's the part I think that y'all don't understand. Y'all listen to Mr. used to be on TV host doing crazy shit, eating bugs and stuff's podcast, thinking that is an independent. It is not.
No.
That is a podcast that is formed. He was hired, and the purpose is to sell you bullshit.
Right.
And that is how we get to where we get. That is why you got people watching videos on YouTube, arguing with scientists who have studied vaccines and viruses and all kind of shit for decades, arguing because they see some random clown on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's how you get there. That didn't used to be the case. It used to be, if those of us are a little older, if you remember like this back in the 80s and 90s, 700 Club and all that stuff, it had to say 700 Club from, what's the preacher's name?
It was like
Them Liberty.
Them
people down
at
Liberty
Liberty
College.
University.
Yeah, Jerry Falwell.
Yes.
It had to say 700 Club, Jerry Falwell. So you already knew you was dealing with some foolery, right?
Right.
So then you could tune in if you wanted to, but you knew what that was. That's not the case anymore. You think you listening to guy that used to be on the TV's podcast and his thoughts. You're not. He's being fed a script.
Yeah.
All of these people are being fed a script. So just keep that in mind. And I'm not trying to sound crazy. You can't believe everything you hear. But another part of the problem is when you don't have the basic education, when you're not well read enough, like when you haven't been taught enough to know, hey, that don't quite sound right. You know what I mean? Like, no, that's not really how it works.
Learning how to identify reliable sources is such an important part of any person's development, and to be able to use discernment and say, something seems off about this. Let me do a little bit more research to make sure this is legit. Because a lot of y'all see it on TikTok or you see it on insert blogs,
social media, whatever.
and you go, oh, that must be true, and you don't do any more research past that. And it could be something that seems pretty harmless or innocuous, but what you're doing is you're getting into the routine of believing this source and never questioning it, so that when they start to venture into stuff that's probably a bit more serious, you're not doing your research to question it. And so in your head, it's like true.
You're
and
getting red-pilled.
They take it like, one blog writes about it or one social media account writes about it. Another one picks it up, citing the other one as the source.
Right.
And it's just like, no.
None of this is a real source.
All y'all got it wrong. Well, how did we get here? And
Right.
next thing you know, you're seeing, stuff on
Free Tory Lanez.
on Blue Sky or Twitter or whatever. And it's just like screenshots of a screenshot of a screenshot of a post from an account that just
somebody said.
Like someone just made it up at 2:00 in the morning.
Right.
So what we're saying is this hopefully podcast is the antidote to all of that.
Right.
Because we're not going to talk about stuff we don't know about.
Exactly.
Like you won't
Exactly.
catch me wading deep into, some specific like issue or matter that I don't know about, because why am I going to lend my voice to something? Like if I'm talking about it, it's because I know a little something about it. I've done some research about it.
And
I know people involved with it.
And both of us are at the age where we remember when it used to be, people used to be embarrassed to be stupid.
Right.
And people used to be embarrassed to not know things, and they would
Oh,
just
my God.
shut the fuck up. Because, nobody want to stand up and be the
Oh, my
stupid
God.
one. But now people don't have a problem with that. But anyway, that's enough. We just wanted to this is the thought why behind this. So we're not gonna be super serious though.
No.
But just know if we do talk about something like you just said, trust we know what we're talking about, because I'll be the first one to be like, I don't know nothing about that, and I'm not acting like I'm the most well read. I think I'm read enough at this point. Like, I'm read enough, and if it's something I ain't read, I'm either not interested, or I just won't know it, or I'll get to it at some point. So
yeah, you're not gonna talk about it until you know more about it. Because why am I lending my voice to this conversation?
And some things I just don't give a fuck about. And that's a very unpopular opinion, but some of these people just every issue, like, girl, I can't, that is halfway around the world.
That's what gets these celebrities caught up, is that they feel like they gotta have an opinion on everything.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know nothing about that. God bless them people, but I'm just trying to get to work on time.
Right.
And it's people starving all over the world, and I don't know why them people got to be super special.
So again, we are hopefully the antidote to some of the mess in the podcast space. And as she said, it's not going to be super serious all the time. We will talk about some serious stuff when it matters. But in terms of right now, Kelly, I think you were supposed to tell me a little bit more about there's a part 2 to this issue that you wanted to tell me about. But you got to give the people part 1.
So I went on Bluesky. So what happened was, this is about a month ago now, right? So I live in Harlem. And
you went on what?
Huh?
You said you went on what?
Blue Sky.
Blue Sky.
Blue Sky. I call it Blue Ski, my bad. Blue Sky. And I told the story a little bit, but now it's a little bit more. So this was about a month ago, when we were still having like that unseasonably warm weather, right? It was back in October. So I live in Harlem, and my building, it's a big complex, but each building has their own laundry room, right? Mm-hmm. So I've been living there for a very long time, had a few issues, but not too many. So this one, it was a Friday, and I purposely do my laundry on Friday because even though we have I've told y'all this before too, we got 8 dryers, 8 washers, plenty, but there's always some jackass that'll be in there. Sorry, I'm fighting the cold too, y'all. Sorry. Always some jackass in there, and it's usually them older ladies on the tenants association that I am in mortal combat with. But anyway, and they'll get in there, and they'll have 2 loads of laundry, taking up all the fucking dryers, all the fucking washers. Like, ma'am, you cannot do that.
Like, no, you got to use like 1 at a time.
1 or 2. I even give you 3 because it's 8. But why do you have 1 load of laundry spread across all? Because you got 3 shirts in this one. I know.
You're doing your whole week's worth of laundry at the one time. That's not okay.
And you want 3 shirts dropped, like, girl. Anyway, so I go down there on Friday night because there's never nobody in there. So I go down there Friday night. Wasn't nobody in there, of course. Put my little clothes in. Boom, fine. Set my timer, go back upstairs. And now the laundry room used to close at 11, but now it closes at 9:30. Cool. And this is a secure building. Like, we have a gate around our complex that you have to key in. Supposed to be secure, right? More on that later. So I come back down. It was like 9:15. I knew it was closing soon. Set my timer, come down. So I walk down, and the door to the laundry room is closed and locked. It's usually open when the laundry room is open. It's closed and locked. So I'm like, okay. So you go down to the laundry room, right? And then the door is up. So if you look through the door, you can't see all of the laundry room. You can just really see what's in front of you.
Okay.
And because it's on a dip and up, you really can't see much, right? Because you can't, it's not like you can look in and see down to the floor. You can see straight ahead of you, a little bit to the right. So when I look in and I see, so do y'all have those, you know how the Salvation Army has those like little containers that they put?
Yeah.
So we have one of those in the laundry room.
Okay.
So I see that, but I also see the day before, somebody has like, if you want to get your clothes away, you put it there. So somebody had like had a bunch of sneaker boxes in there that they had put in, but the boxes were like against the machine, against the thing. So I look in and I notice that the boxes is like all across the floor and scattered, and it's like clothes, like little baby clothes scattered across the floor. And I look, and there's a hole in the side of the thing where you put your clothes in. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, was that hole always there? I was like, I don't think it was. So I was like, all right, so registered as strange. Cool. So, but the door is locked. I'm like, all right. I'm get pissed because I think that the security guard has locked the door already. And I'm like, no, it's 9:15. It don't close till 9:30. So I walk myself over there like Miss like Sophia in The Color Purple. I walk my way over there. You told Harper unlock the door, right? Like, hey, it don't close till 9:30. Unlock the door. Now, pay attention to this part. This is gonna come up later. So it's a new, I don't know. They sold this building like a few times since I've been there. This new management, terrible. The grass don't be cut, nothing. So, and the security, the guard rotation is a lot because it's this this black dude, little mohawk. I ain't never seen him before. So I'm like, all right, never seen you before, whatever. So I'm like, hey, can you unlock the laundry room? It's not supposed to lock till 9:30. And he like, oh, okay. So he stands up. And, starts gathering his stuff and stuff. So I walk back. It's not that far. I walk right back down a little walkway, standing there waiting for him. So as I'm standing here waiting for him, now I'm at the top.
Yeah.
So I can see better because I can see there's another 2 windows on the side. I can see better. So this other man, I guess he had his laundry in there too. So he comes along and I'm like, oh, the door's locked. Okay. So we both standing at the top. So as I'm standing at the top, I see a person come into like the little door window.
Yeah.
With somebody's child's shirt on. It was a tight ass shirt and a sports bra, which was my sports bra, my Nike sports bra. I'm like, the fuck? So I'm standing there and the dude was like, "Is that what's going on?" I was like, ah. So the dude, he turns around and he goes back, and I'm like, I just really was like, what is happening? Like, am I even seeing this, right? So then he goes back, and I can't see. So I'm like, what the hell? So instead of going down to the door, I go cut through the grass and look in those windows. That's when I see there is a man in there. He done cut a hole in the Salvation Army thing, pulled all that clothes out, got my dryer open, got dude's dryer open, and I guess there was another dryer in there that I didn't even notice, got that dryer open, got people clothes in the baskets, and trying on people clothes, like trying on people's laundry. Like, I guess the other person was doing a kid's laundry because I was like, I should beat your ass. Why are you trying on a child's? He trying to put this little kid's socks on.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm like, it's got to be something wrong with him. He has to be crazy. So then I'm like, where's the security guard? So I go back over.
Yeah, because you just asked him to come unlock the room.
He's still standing there, him and Han. Keep this fact because it's coming up later. He's still standing there, him and Han. So now I'm like, did he let this person in here? Like, I'm like, why are you taking so long? So I go back, I'm like, hey, there's a dude in the laundry room. Are you going to unlock the door, by the way, so I can get my shit, figure out if he was in my shit, and go. And he like, oh, you wanted, I didn't know, hear you say it was locked. So now I'm like.
You're like, no, I literally came to tell you it was unlocked to unlock it.
So now my spidey senses, I'm like, is you acting funny. So he gets to the door. He's looking in. He got his little radio. He's looking in. So by this time, the dude, and the other lady came. So I'm like, yeah, somebody in there. So we stand at the top, and we like, yo, are you gonna lock the door? He's like, oh, I don't have a key. Then he said, this is my first night, and I believe that because I never seen him before. I was like, okay, but I'm like, but you have a key. Y'all all have keys. So, and it's only way that could be locked is with the key or from the inside.
Right.
So. Me and we standing there, so we like, what is going on? So I hear him call the other security guard on the radio.
Okay.
And the girl, wherever she was like, no, you got a key, and you unlock the door. And he like, oh, I don't know. So then he's like, oh, I'm gonna go around the other side. He did a whole lot of shit now to seem suspecting me because there is another door.
Okay.
So he said he was gonna go to the other side to the door, and I was like, sir, I don't think I'm not trying to tell you how to do your security job, but. We can't see in this whole laundry room. We can only see a little bit. He's clearly in there disturbed.
Right.
We don't know if there's somebody else in there. It could be somebody else in there that he got locked in there or like knocked out or something. Like, I don't think you should do that, right? I think you should call the police because this person is clearly trespassing. He's locked himself in here, and I don't know, this might be burglary or something. I don't know, something, right? Call the police. So I'm saying that. He's not calling the police. Then the manager comes around. He's just standing there. Nobody has any answers. So me and the 2 other people, we in the windows just watching this man try on
all your clothes.
Like, just on the window, like, yo, we banging on the window, everything. He just in there just trying on people's shit. So finally he comes out. He opens the door, he comes out. So he walks past all of us. Now I'm like, I'm not security. I'm not about to do nothing. And he had a backpack, so he has stuffed people clothes in the back. So I just go in there to see if he was in my stuff. So he took the stuff out the dryer, but it didn't look like, I looked at my stuff. I didn't see, not like I know every piece that was in there, but I was like, I don't think mine was, but I have to wash it again because he done touched it.
Correct.
And
well, you did know he tried on the sports bra, though.
Yes, but I'm not sure if that was mine or not because there was other laundry in there. It could have been mine, probably was, but it was other laundry in there. I'm not sure, but whatever. So by this time I'm on the phone with the old lady, right? So she's like, cut, and I'm like, just calm down. I'm like, just relax. And she was like,
Old lady being your wife.
yeah, being my wife, that's what I call her. So, so she just in my ear, blah blah blah, and I'm like handling two things at once, right? So I'm like, just all right, calm down. So she like called it, and I'm like, I'm handling it. Just please relax, right? So when he walks out, he walks by all three of us. So I'm like, I call the security guard. I'm like, that's him. And he like, that's him. And we all like, that's him.
You just saw him.
We like, that's him. Are you gonna like? So then I was like, okay, he probably don't get paid to stop him either. Like, you know what I mean? He's not a cop. But I was like, but you still have not called the police. Him and the manager is just standing there. Dude turns around, comes back, tries to go back in the laundry room. But by this time, we had closed the door, so the door's locked. So he just takes his stuff and walks out of the gate, which is the same gate that I had reported, because that gate, when you close it, it's supposed to close, but it doesn't. So I reported that to get it fixed. So that was that night. We standing around talking. I rewash my clothes. She on the phone like, you need to get rid of those clothes. I was like, this was the expensive load of laundry. I'm not about to, I'm like, it was sports bras cost $75 each. We just gonna rewash these. Gonna put a lot of bleach in them. I'm not replacing.
Like,
this
no, we're not doing that.
No. And like I said, I don't think he was
done
in
anything to
he
them
was
like
in that person with, she was hot with the kid clothes.
Yes.
So he, long story short, he like, okay, we gonna make a report, blah blah. I called again and I'm like, hey, just so you know, this guy was in the laundry room. It's the weekend, so we get the other security guard. Cause
yeah.
She's like, yeah, I know. I told him he has the key. I don't know why he didn't go in there. He was like, but we're gonna report whatever she said they were gonna do. So I'm like, okay, fine. But I remember she said, I don't know why he said he didn't have the key. I didn't know why he said that either, because that was odd. So that's that. So she in my ear, you need to write a report and you need to report them and blah blah blah. And I'm like, I'm gonna do it. But you need to call them, like, been here, living here a long time. The best way to get to them is an email. They respond to
Put it all in writing.
And it's in writing. I was like, so that's what I'm going to do.
That's the lawyer in us.
Yeah, I've complained to them via email other time, and they always address it. They always call me back because they know that shit is in writing, right? So I did that. But, no response, which I figured, because this new management, terrible, but it's in writing. So, and I put in there, I was like, listen, this is what happened. He came in through the gate. We've been complaining about this gate before. That is a safety issue.
Right.
That was just laundry, but it could have really been something worse. It could have been somebody in there. It could have been assault. It could have been a rape, whatever.
Right.
Just putting you on notice that you need to fix that door, because it's not a small thing. A couple days later, I'm coming in and out. One of the tenant association ladies tells me that somebody had got mugged in the basement.
What?
And I'm wondering if it was the same night or a different night. And she told me that it was another security guard, because when I was coming in, the door that locks didn't lock. Because she said the security guard broke the door. It wouldn't open. So instead of going around the other way, he gonna pull and pull and pull on it until he breaks it. So I went up. I did my little. I turned into super lesbian. Went upstairs, got my screwdriver, came down, fixed the door, so they would be secure. Cause she was like, she was standing there.
She's
nervous.
Like hysterical.
Yeah, she was like, it's not safe, so I fixed the door. There you go, ma'am. Go upstairs. So I put that in another email. It's like, oh, and by the way, I don't have personal knowledge of this, but they said that somebody's also mugged. So that's part one. Part two. Couple Friday nights ago, again, I'm doing my laundry once again earlier in the day this time.
Okay.
But still doing my laundry. I'm coming around to go. I had put the laundry in, coming around to go. I can't remember where. I was going to go and come right back. As I walk by the laundry room, I see that same exact security guard. This time the door is open. He's standing in the door, and there's another dude. I can't really tell if it's the same dude, because the dude that I saw the first night looked very homeless. But he was tall and he was very thin. And the dude that was in there this time, he was dressed. He had a hat, he had regular, but he was tall and he was very thin. And I was like, is that the same dude? And he's just taking clothes out of the Salvation Army thing into a plastic bag this time. And it's another dude in the laundry room this time, an older guy. But the guard is standing here, like basically escorting him to do it. And when I walked by, he gave me a look, and I gave him a look, and I was like,
Child.
You let that first guy in. You let him in.
What is
And
happening
that's
down
why
there?
you was dilly-dallying when I told you to come unlock the door, because you knew that he was in there probably stealing clothes. So I looked and I called the wife and I said, "Hey, let me guess what?" And I told her story. She off again. You need to go. And I was like, I'm gonna let them know. So I did another email and I told them, I said, "Hey, not trying to accuse anybody, and this could be a total coincidence. I don't know. Maybe y'all have somebody that's scheduled to come around and empty that bin. Although in the 10 years living here, I've never seen that."
You're like, that bin been sitting there undisturbed for a long time.
Right. They do empty it though, because it's not. It would be filled to the hilt if they didn't. I was like, but that same security guard that I wrote y'all about last time on the laundry stealing night was standing there while this man is emptying that same exact bin through that same exact cut hole into a plastic bag to take the clothes out, which I don't care. Like, if you're letting the guy in to get clothes to take it for himself or who cares? Because we throwing them away. That's the whole point of it. But, like, why are you doing that?
Right. It's like literally like the whole point is that room is supposed to be secure for the residents of the building.
Right.
And, like, you're just letting in random people off the street, it looks
like. Off the street, right? So.
Yeah, no.
So I'm further investigating that. I sent them that, and because the other thing that cued me to him is when I was going to the dentist, because my dentist is in the building across the street, right? I was going to the dentist, minding my business, and he happened to be in that booth that day, because it's the complex across the street, the bigger one with the basketball court.
Okay, so it's all connected, or it's the same.
It's a big complex. I live on what they call the small version, because it's only 3 buildings, and then across the street is the bigger one.
Okay.
And if y'all know in Harlem, if y'all know where I'm talking about, y'all know Riverton, y'all know where I'm talking about. The part with the big basketball court. That's where my dentist office is. So I'm going in there. He jumps out. Hey, did you file a police report? And I was like, "Oh, nah, I didn't do all that." I was like, "But I did contact him." And he was like, "Oh, cause I'm gonna make a note, being real extra, how people do when they trying to
like deflect from something else,
right? Like they feeling guilty." So that stuck in my mind too. So that was in between the first night and second night. So I think, I'm not trying to accuse the dude. It could have been all a coincidence, but I'm like, nah. The look when he saw me, see him standing there, while that dude,
he knew something was up.
Yeah, I was like,
Especially, I think the big clue for me was when you got him originally to come unlock the room, and he didn't come, and you had to go back and be like, "Hey, what's happening?"
Yes.
Like, he could have told you right then and there he didn't have the key. Been like, "But I'll call someone to get it unlocked," and then for him to never follow up too, like. Everything about what you said, it sounds very suspicious.
Very suspicious.
And I honestly do not doubt that either he's just, because we have not said what it could be. He could just be completely incompetent. It could be that as well. But based off of some of the other stuff you said, it sounds like he knows a little something, and he's trying to make sure he don't get too caught up in it.
Honestly, what I think is that he probably was just trying to, hey, man, is some clothes in there. You could go in there. You could take them. Which, again, I don't have.
But like, why would you just go get it
Yourself?
yourself?
Thank you.
Why would you let him into the building
in a very dumb way? Because you don't have no control over what that person
precisely
does. You let them in here, and you don't know what they're gonna do, and you don't know if he's gonna leave a side door open. You don't know what. And like you said, just take the clothes to him.
Literally, just be like, "Hey, man, like we got some stuff in there. Usually, the Salvation Army people come and get it. I can come get it to you. You can look at it, and I'll take it back in there."
So yeah.
Okay,
that's the story, and I will keep y'all updated via Blue Sky, and I'll come back to the Hollywood. I haven't gotten any responses to my emails, but I got my eye out, and I haven't seen him since.
Wait, you haven't seen who?
That guard.
The guard.
Yes.
Do you think they let him go?
They might, because the other girl, and I felt bad about this because they steal packages, and she did the detective work and put me on who was stealing the package, and I think they might.
And it was a security person.
No, we already knew it was security people, but it's also people that dress up like Amazon. But she did the work because she found the empty box, and she went and checked the cameras because they swear they can't check the cameras unless you have a police report. But she was like, "It's this guy right here. This is not a real Amazon guy." She had did the whole investigation. So I sent it to them like, "Hey, And I haven't seen her since. And I hope that's not the case because she did her job and she did what she was supposed to do.
Yeah.
Them other guards be acting like, and we know it's the security guards because the minute that box arrived there, I mean, if you don't get it that second, it's gone. And you gotta know exactly when it's coming because we look out for each other. If I see my neighbor shit down there, I'll bring it up because they supposed to bring it to your apartment door. But they don't because me and my neighbors on our floor, we got that shit like, what's that movie, Mission Impossible? I got my camera, the neighbor got his camera, that neighbor got her camera, and the neighbor to the whole
got just tripwire all over the place.
Floor is covered. You're not stealing off our floor at all.
He's like that motion sensor. As soon as something moving that floor, we got 5 different angles to tell you that you got us fucked up.
Yep.
All right. Well, speaking of petty peeves and pet peeves, because they still in boxes down at your building and letting people into the laundry room, I guess. Mm-hmm. I don't have a story to tell. I have no story to tell. All I do is want to get off my chest is I am from a little bit of all over because my parents are military. I've lived in 6, 7 different states. I've been to majority of the states. I can say definitively that the worst drivers in this country are New York, New Jersey drivers.
You think?
It is like, here's everybody else, and here's New York, New Jersey. It is so bad, the amount of double parking that happens, the amount of just, oh, I'm about to miss my exit. Let me go across this entire blocked off section with the speed of a NASCAR F1 racer. Like, I've seen people back up on the highway.
I've seen that.
Back up on the highway. Mind you, the speed limit is 65 miles an hour, and you are backing up because you are about to miss your exit. Y'all have lost your mind. The specific thing that I want to go in on, though, is because I drove into the city last night for dinner with some friends. So anybody who's driven into the city who hasn't taken the George Washington Bridge, from Jersey, yes, driving from New Jersey into Manhattan, if you're not taking the George Washington Bridge or any other bridge, you're taking a tunnel. Mm-hmm. I'm usually taking the Holland Tunnel. It's a little bit further south than the Lincoln Tunnel. The Holland Tunnel, so it's 2 lanes on either side going in one direction, and then there's a double white lane.
Right.
This is for all the people who've been having their licenses for years. You had to take your driver's test. The double white lane means you are not supposed to cross that line. You were supposed to stay in your lane. And you were supposed to do that all the way through the Holland Tunnel. You were like, it says it, there's a double white lane, and then it says in big, bold letters, every 100 yards, do not cross lanes. Why do we get these speed racers and it's only 35 miles an hour, so we can't even go that fast. You get up in there, you get people just a zigging and a zagging like they don't need for speed hop pursuit, bitch. It is insane. I'm like, the reason they tell you not to do that, because if there's an accident in here, it shuts down the whole tunnel, girl. And like, if there's something that goes really south in here, like an explosion, we're under the Hudson River. We are under the Hudson River. So that means all the water's dropping down, bitch. That means what is that movie with the tunnel where they had to get out of it? Daybreak or whatever. Daylight.
Oh,
yes.
I thought it was the day after. The one about the global warming?
No. This is the one about, it's a whole movie about people being in a tunnel in New York City where something happens, a crack or something, and the water comes rushing in. And the whole movie's about trying to save these people in the tunnel. I think Bruce Willis is in it. Y'all, Daylight? Yes, Daylight. Y'all got it. Go watch Daylight. Like, it will be daylight if there was like a petrol truck up in there that exploded. And so that's why they tell you not to change lanes, specifically to keep any type of accidents from happening, but also something crazy from like an explosion. And then obviously it's super insulated, but like you get a big enough explosion, that's just going to cave in.
Isn't that also the lane if you have car trouble that they pull for the cars to go in so it doesn't block the whole tunnel?
Yes. So they'll, like, if there's something really going down, they'll be like, okay, let's change lanes, and then we'll at least have one lane. Mm-hmm. But they don't want people to change lane just because traffic's going slow. That's insane. And the amount of people who I see, and it always be like, you know, the New York license plates, and it's like, first of all, or my favorite are the ones where they have the temporary license plates. I'm just like, sir, you printed that off down at your mama's house using up her good toner
Yep.
on a bad paper because that shit is melted. Like it don't even look like it's legit. Like it's supposed to be on the paper that can withstand weather. I'm like, y'all are stealing these cars, driving them around, trying not to pay these goddamn tolls because the tolls are high. I will say it did catch me off guard. The last set of tolls that went up, it's like $17, $18 now to get one way into the city.
Is that
It's
the surge pricing or whatever? Or
no. That's just the price. So we're not even talking about congestion pricing in the city.
Man.
So it is getting out of control. So I feel you. I don't want to pay the tolls either. I'm not trying to pay the $5. I'm not trying to pay the $5. But listen, I knew I was coming into the city. I was like, I'm gonna have me a good night. I'm not relying on no train to get back home. So I'm gonna drive and I'm gonna pay the $5. But like, what y'all are doing, trying to get around it, in terms of not having license plates that legit. And then because you don't have license plates legit, y'all drive like maniacs because y'all know y'all ain't gonna get pulled over or get flagged by any of those cameras. So that's all I had to say. Again, no real story there. I want y'all to do better. I think a lot of y'all need to lose your licenses. I think y'all need to go to remedial driver school. I think there's people that need to be literally pulled over just one good time and then like fined because the speed limit is 55. I'm going 63, 64. So I'm already pushing it myself. How do you come zooming by doing a smooth 80?
Let me ask you a question. Where'd you learn how to drive at? What state?
I learned how to drive in Florida.
Oh, that's odd.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, and I've driven all over this country. So like I know where to bend the rules and where to like, lean into more into the rules. And so I'm like, speed, whatever. But like 30 over the speed limit, they take your license at that point.
Well, let me.
She's like, oh, hold on, not me being one of the.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but I will say I too have driven a lot of places, including L.A., New York, Texas.
You drive in Georgia at all, in Atlanta? Because they a little wild down there too.
Georgia. There's another state that I can't, that I'm forgetting. California. Oh, I said that.
Yeah, you said
North
California.
And South California, Texas. But I will tell you, and anybody hears me that knows will agree, the worst drivers in America, in maybe the country, maybe the whole world,
I was
are
like,
in the Maryland, D.C., Virginia area. You will not find worse drivers in your life. You will not find worse drivers in you. They do everything that you're talking about, but you know what they also do? They will sit in the left lane, which if y'all don't know, because there's a lot of, because I had an ex-girlfriend that argued me down. There is a lot of people that do not know that international rule of the road is that the left lane is for passing.
How do you not know that?
People don't know.
How do y'all not know that?
It is not optional for you to just
like
sit
it is literally
in the left lane coasting. That is not what that is for. So when people come up on your ass, they are not riding your bumper.
No, they are
trying
to go
for you to
go
move
faster
because they are trying to go faster so that they can pass. Maryland.
Down in Mexico, we went to Mexico. I remember I was in the left lane because I had to make a left turn to get off. And when I tell you, the Mexicans came up behind me so fast, they flickering the lights. I was like, sir, but it's my exit coming up on the left. And they were like, well, you need to wait until at the last minute to get off.
Yes, it is not for you to sit in the left lane and say, well, the speed limit is 55 and I'm doing. Nobody care about that. They are passing. So get out of the way.
Yes.
And that, you will have so many of them, and that going in and out, that is caused because you have people that will be in the left lane doing 50 miles per hour, and the people in the right lane are also doing 50 miles an hour, but they're in the right lane, so that's fine. But what you have is a wall of 50 miles an hour blocking everybody for miles and miles and miles and miles back. Two, if you go 3, 4, 5 miles back, sometimes traffic is standstill
because
of your ass. So
literally,
move.
The amount of times I've driven, my family lives in Pennsylvania, out near Harrisburg.
Born and raised.
And the amount of times where I thought there was an accident driving, and it was literally
nothing.
These two bitches at the front
won't move,
going side by side like they holding hands.
Everybody up.
Literally just holding hands down the road. Bitch, if y'all don't like, look, the speed limit is literally 65 miles an hour, and we going a smooth 30.
Well, the speed limit, I say the speed limit is whatever the troopers allow you to do.
Well, that's correct. And that's why I said I know where to bend rules a bit. But anyway, speaking about, because I can go on this for days and days. What I did want to talk about a little bit is, since we all about to be on the road for the
Mhm.
holidays,
Mhm.
that I feel like the holidays for black gay people is a little bit unique because you got
Ooh,
some things you try to navigate,
it's a movie in itself.
and it's like you want to be yourself, but also you're like, okay, I'm not trying to make this all about me when I come up into this function. Like, I want to be around my people, but like, also, you're not about to make. I'm like, I ain't going back in nobody's closet.
You right. You're not about to treat me like the gay cousin, even though I am
So,
the gay cousin.
absolutely. So, when it comes to the holidays, like, I'm married, Kelly's married. Like, what is it like for you around the holiday time period? Because I know me and my husband, we've been together for about 10 years now, and it took us a little trial and error to get there, but
Well,
we.
tell the other part about you and your husband and the family that also is a factor.
Yeah, so my husband is of this persuasion. He that's not Latino. He's white.
That's also a factor.
And so we have a little bit of different upbringing,
Cultural differences.
cultural differences. But we get our like I get along with his family. He definitely gets along with my family. So we're actually like quite good there. But as you said, the cultural difference is real,
Mhm.
and so just even how we approach the holidays, like child Thanksgiving, that is the
Ooh.
one where you know the food gotta be good. Like it is all about the food. And yes, football will be on in the background. The parade, Macy's Day Parade, will be on in the background. But again, it's the background because
The
that food been
food is
worked
the
on for the
star.
last 72 hours, and we doing the final touches up in here. And so it's just not quite the same. I found out for white families
No.
where they just be like, it's the time to get together. It's about
Mm-mm.
family and football and
No,
love.
ma'am.
And I'm like, wait, so y'all are okay with this dry ass turkey?
Dry ass turkey, corn straight out the can,
Yeah, no, 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 no. We don't.
green
Mm-mm.
beans, mashed potatoes, which is not for Thanksgiving. Mashed potatoes is a regular ass side.
And
You
if you're
have
gonna do mashed
on a
potatoes,
Tuesday.
if you're gonna do them, you gotta do them up. You can't be making no Idaho potato instant. No, no, no. You need to be mashing them up yourself. You need to be putting a little comfy you gotta do something to make it something unique when you do that.
Right, or get it out of here. I don't even want it. I don't want no mashed potatoes.
I will always do a potato, and I think what will determine the type of potato that I do is what I do for the yams or the sweet potatoes. And like if those are in a mashed situation, it's just like we don't really need mashed potatoes. But like if we do have a yam or something that's more of just like the glaze, whatever, and it's like okay, we can do a mashed potato. But yeah, I will say that for me, I've had to step into the cooking, and when we have my husband's family over, because I was just like, I think we did 1 or 2 Thanksgivings, and I said, oh,
Yeah,
this is what we're dealing with,
that's funny.
and I was like, I was like,
It,
did
it,
y'all
it
taste
ruined.
did y'all taste the food
It
before y'all
ruined
put
the
it
whole
out?
day. I had an ex, I won't say which, and they were not white, but they were very white, like
Adjacent,
white
yeah.
adjacent, and so their Thanksgivings were very white, and pumpkin pie, the mac and cheese is
Wait,
like
now you said pumpkin pie.
pumpkin pie, which I like pumpkin pie. I'm not anti pumpkin pie, but that can't be the only pie.
No,
I need the peach cobbler. I need the sweet potato. I need
right.
the desserts. The desserts, right? That can't be it. And then it was out the store.
Oh, listen. So I will say, as a person who has made several Thanksgiving, acceptable to me is a pie from a bakery. If you have a bakery that you go to all the time, like I'm okay with that. But you can't be down to the Piggly Wiggly,
It was
child.
down to the Piggly Wiggly.
Like,
Yes.
and I love Publix too, but don't be bringing no Publix. Like pies don't take that much to make.
Or
You know what
just
I'm saying?
Yeah, or like you said, go to a cake bakery, get a cake.
Correct.
Now, you could bring a sheet cake from Publix because them cakes. You could bring a sheet cake from Publix.
Yeah, because
But
ain't nobody making a sheet cake.
no, them cakes are A1. And listen, people down south, y'all hype a lot of shit up that's not really hype, but Publix is not one of them. Publix
It do be going off.
Publix be going off. I give it to y'all.
That chicken, whew.
Yeah, that place is legit.
But so anyway, sorry, we went on a little tangent there. I was saying, what do you be doing for the holidays? Like I said, so for us, we figured out like we stay in the area. My husband's family's from New Jersey, so we end up hosting Thanksgiving, and then they come up, and I do it for like 10, 12 people. Yeah,
At your apartment?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Uh-huh. And then for Christmas, that's what we would usually do with my family in Harrisburg, and that's when, because for Thanksgiving and holidays in general, it's like the best cookers of the family come out. It's like the Avengers
Right.
of cookers.
Right.
Everybody does their best dish. And so
Right.
I'll come through and I'll be like, Oh, what y'all need? Like, what do y'all? Oh, y'all want me to make some fresh rolls? I got you. I make rolls from scratch. Oh, you need like some dessert? You need a brownie?
Yeah.
I got you. And so when
Yeah.
I go to see my family, they've learned that I can't do both of those things.
Yeah.
And so it's like we figured it out, and everyone's like mostly okay that we do the Thanksgiving thing with his family, and then we do the Christmas thing with my family. And it's taken us years to get to know each other because you know before we be coming up in there looking like roommates, being like, "Yep, no, bro, how you doing? Yeah, this is my friend.
Yo,
this is my friend. Yeah,
the
no."
roommate situation
And
is
then
so
you being
stupid.
introduced to extended family, like,
Like y'all are
this
45.
is
y'all
Tyrone's
are not
friend.
roommates, right?
This is his friend.
Right.
You know that they close.
Roommates. Everybody playing the game right now.
Yeah, how long y'all been knowing each other?
Stop.
They known each other for a few years.
Mhm.
Now we don't even play those games.
They roommates in a 1-bedroom. Yeah.
My mom,
rent is high.
My mom be talking down to the people at the church. She be like, "Yeah, that's his husband." I was like, "That's right," because we ain't about to come up in here playing these games. He for too long. I was like, "He got your number, mom. He got your number. He texted you the other day."
Like, "Oh yeah, Uncle Jimmy had a roommate. Remember?" Like,
I was like, "Yeah, no, we ain't no damn roommates." But
Yeah.
what do y'all do for you in the holidays?
That thing that you said about everybody make their best that's also a cultural thing because they don't understand that. They think you could just make whatever, and it's like, baby, no.
Mm-mm.
You get tasked with the dish,
It's
and
the
that's what you
macaroni
make.
and
If
cheese.
that macaroni and cheese is not right,
Child, don't be What's that video
don't
say?
experiment
That
on
video?
Thanksgiving.
Y'all know exactly what video I'm talking
Don't
about.
experiment on Thanksgiving. You make the shit. how
What she
people
say?
wanna
Auntie
eat
Karen
it.
gave you the recipe.
Right. And
you gonna use some damn
use
cream
some
cheese.
Cream cheese. It's no cream cheese in that recipe.
Yes.
Don't. But what we do. So my wife is from Macon, Georgia.
Ooh, the South.
The South.
That's a Mercer University.
They got a lot of universities in Macon. I did not listen. Shout out to Macon. I thought Macon was gonna be the smallest ass countryest town, but that's a college town, and they have several universities down there. So it's a lot bigger than I thought, and it's a college town. You know how college towns are. So shout out to Macon. It was not what I expected.
Right.
So So me and my wife met in the military, in the Marines years ago. That's how we met. And so when we were in the Marines, she would always drive home for her. And she was lucky enough that her best friend's husband was also in the military and had got stationed kind of near us. Like we were in Maryland and she was in New York. So they would drive down back to Macon. So that's what she has always done because she has her whole family, except for, you haven't met Montego yet, except for her cousin Montego and her other sister. Still live in Georgia. So they drove down there.
Okay.
But developments have happened. So first of all, her mom passed away. And in a lot of black families, Big Mama be the one to hold everybody together.
Right.
And so since her mom has passed away, and like I said, her two cousins and her sister that she messed with the most, one of them lives here and the other one live in Kansas. So she has a brother down there, but like the majority of like her main is not down there anymore. Her older sister, whatever. Since me and her have been together, we spend Christmas by ourselves in Maryland, because number one, so when her mom died, we went down there for the funeral. So I'm skipping over a whole lot.
I know,
she had to come out to her family, blah blah blah. So she did that, and they reacted as you would expect Southern Baptists in Macon to react. So. But what happened was right before we got back together, she got sick and she got cancer. Cancer runs in her family, and she had to go through all the, they caught it early and all of that, got it out, but she had to go through that and she had to recover, and that's a long journey. My dad, anybody that's had any kind of cancer, you know what that's like. It's hard. So she got through it, and she was like, after that, she was like, I just realized, like, I could have really died, thank God I didn't, but I could have died. And it was like, why am I living my life with these people? They don't even live near me. I'm in Maryland. I'm doing my thing. I'm doing my thing. They way down there in Georgia. What the fuck? Why do I don't give, why do I give a fuck so much about them? So that was her attitude. That's when we kind of hooked back up. So her mom died last spring, something like that. So she was like, I went down there with her, of course. And so when I got down there, so her cousin knew about me, her sister knew about me, her brother knew about me, but hadn't met me. And her brother is hilarious. Her brother, that's the youngest. Mm-hmm. That dude, he's funny as hell. So he's the baby brother. Just imagine how that is. So, but we hadn't met. But her older sister, she's the next. There are four of them. Her older sister, her her younger sister, and Luke, who is the baby.
Yeah.
The older sister, I'm not gonna say she crazy, but I'm saying she crazy. And some other of her family members who I've met with on the side also say she crazy. They all, her name, I ain't gonna say her name.
Yeah.
They all say like she's a problem, right? All their lives. So they are just very, and this is the mother of her nephew that we have told you about. So them two, her nephew, who probably will be coming to live with us as soon as he turns 18, his mother and father are very, when I say, think of the most old school, down deep South, religious, Baptist, don't know, go to church every day of the week.
Just like can't see a world outside.
Can't see the world outside of the church. They own church. He's the pastor. It's like 10 members of this church. I call it a cult, but whatever. It's like 10 members of this church. They don't even go, because one thing about Macon, it's a church on every corner. One thing about the South,
oh my God,
generally, y'all got a lot of churches in the South. I'm like, God damn, we done drove down 2 blocks and passed 8 churches already. It don't even seem like.
It was like, those were the original influencers.
It don't even seem like it's enough.
Original content creators were pastors down in the South.
It don't even seem like it's enough people in this town to attend all these churches. But it's church. So they churched out. So we went down there for the funeral. It was okay. Like her sister, I'll say this. Her sister was not rude, but
she clearly wasn't welcoming.
I'm way past the point in my life where not rude is good enough.
You're like, all right, like,
right,
as long as you're not cussing me out, we
exactly.
Ain't fine.
And it was her mama's funeral, so
yeah, you tried to keep it cute. You're like, this ain't about me.
It ain't about me.
I'm here to support her, make sure she gets through this time period, and keep a low profile.
And I really don't care if none of y'all speak to me, honestly, because none of you have lived outside of Macon,
right?
And so like, there's nothing we can talk about. So
yeah, there's no desire to even get to know those people, especially if you know everything that she's told you about them, and you're just like, listen, I know how you treated her.
It's
like,
and it's just
like
no
I'll
conversation.
respect you to the extent that you respect me, because once the mask comes off and you start doing all the homophobic shit,
you ain't gonna be able to handle it.
Like, you're gonna be like, okay, she's crazy, and you'll be like, well, no,
correct.
I'm just, I match energy.
Correct, and I'm a Cancer. Take with that what you will. Some of y'all know what that means. Some of y'all don't. Once the mask comes off, anyway. So that's at the stage. So we don't go home for holidays. This last Christmas we had a wonderful time. We spent Christmas together. I'm not a big Thanksgiving traditional food. Yes, by the time Christmas rolls around,
no, I switch it up.
I'm tired of turkey and all that.
Literally. I introduced my family. I was like, listen, hey, we don't need to do turkey again. I was like, can we do like
anything,
this roast beef instead?
Anything.
Or prime beef, prime beef.
Rib.
Yeah, prime
crab
rib.
legs, fried chicken,
Yes.
anything. Just anything. So that's what we do for Christmas. So we did that. We ordered some catering, which we ordered way too much from Famous Dave's. We got the ribs, some brisket. I understood the menu wrong. I thought I was ordering like 2 or 3 servings. That's what I thought I was ordering.
Yeah.
I think I ordered way more. So I think I ordered like 2 or 3 bins instead of 2 or 3. They had it like,
yeah, you thought it was like 2 to 3 people.
Yeah, they had it by number of people that you feed. So I was like, okay, if it feeds 2 to 3 people, that's like that's enough for us for like the week.
Right.
Their idea of what feed 2 to 3 people was way more than mine.
They said 2 to 3 families.
Yes. So we had to put a lot of shit in the freezer, and honestly, some of that shit is still in the freezer. So
I was like, oh, it's time to go. It's time to go.
Yeah, we ate that. We had a great time. Then for New Year's, we went to Mexico with you guys, which is a great time. And that taking the week off after the New Year is crucial, and
Absolutely.
We are doing that again this year. I don't know if we're going to travel or not. I do have a hotel booked, but
yeah, that reset, man.
Yes.
And especially like, industry we work in, like they still haven't picked up yet because we already as an industry shut down for the week between Christmas and New Year's,
which starts on December 20th this year, which is perfect.
Oh, praise them. So yes, to me, like whenever I've wanted to take a longer vacation or just longer time off, that week right after the New Year is the best time to do it because people, like a lot of your counterparts and people on the other side of the deals aren't even back yet.
They're not back yet. Yep.
And so like this year, we actually had a trip booked to Japan, and then we were just like, we don't have the energy to do that trip. Like we will do it one day, and we
Right.
got all the points in the world from the
Right.
pandemic to do that trip
Right.
on the low. But we were just like, you know what? Let's keep it in this hemisphere. We will be going to the Caribbean, down to St. Croix, which we've been to before. We love it.
Mm-hmm.
It is U.S. Virgin Islands, for those who don't know. So it's like you don't need a passport to go there.
Right.
And also, like, it is within the East Coast time zone, and everything's just super, super chill down there. It's one of the lesser developed islands of the Caribbean. So, you know, you don't have like the mega resorts that you have at some of the other places like Antigua and Barbados, like that people, oh my God, I went to, what's the one, Aruba for the first time back in February this year.
Yeah,
it's a lovely island,
but it's a lot.
It is too developed.
Yeah, it's
like
a lot.
that is like a feeder for New Jersey and Long Island families.
Yes,
child.
Aruba and Bermuda is like that too.
Yeah,
Bermuda
it's
is like that.
It's just a lot, but I totally agree. That to me is a time to recharge, and because you have less demands, like if you work a job that allows you to take off that time between Christmas and New Year's, like absolutely. But we had a time in Tulum. We could have.
We did. That was fun. That was fun.
We got that big old house.
That was nice.
I know, but your knee was still hurt. Oh my god.
Yeah, I had surgery on my leg, so I was a little bit. I mean, it's compounded because I played. If y'all don't know, I played basketball in college and stuff like that. So my knee has already been messed up, and I have a slight arthritis in it anyway. So when I had the surgery, that combined with the slight arthritis, it was just a mess. But it's better now. I mean, I still have the arthritis, but
I still can get over you and your wife being on the ATV. They had y'all bouncing around.
That
like
was not a
rabbits,
two-person ATV. That
Oh my
was
God.
not a two-person ATV.
We'll have to recap that trip one day.
Yeah.
We had some moments.
Yeah, so we're staying here.
Yeah.
I booked LA. She wants to go to LA really bad just to see if she'll like
I
it.
just got back from LA last week.
In case we decide to move there. I think I'm a city person. I'm from Philly, born and raised. I live in New York. I am a city girl. I can only be so far in the suburbs. I can't be way out in the sticks.
Right.
She is a suburban person, so she don't like New York City.
Her creature comforts, her vehicle.
Right, her car, her driveway, the
being
quiet.
Somewhere to park it.
Right.
without
I
having
want to be
pay
able
everywhere.
to walk to the bodega. Right. But whatever. So we
gotta find a mix.
Right. We're trying to find a mix. So we're gonna go to LA. So I booked it, but I'm not sure because I wanted to do that. I'm nervous about leaving the country because I look Mexican and I'm not trying to have no problems.
Please.
I'm serious. I don't have no problem.
I look Mexican.
I do.
Bro, the first time you open your mouth, ain't nobody gonna be like, she's no damn Mexican.
I'm in New York City. Dominicans and Puerto Ricans walk up talking me Spanish to me all the time. I be like, ma'am, I don't speak Spanish. And they look at me like I'm lying. I'm like, I'm not Latino at all. I don't. When we was in Mexico.
Oh my God. They did try with you. But also, to be fair, we were in Mexico. So their default is to assume people speak Mexican.
No, it wasn't no default.
Spanish. Sorry,
it wasn't no default.
I'm intelligent. They don't speak Mexican. They speak Spanish.
When we were getting from the ATV ride, when we get in the van to come back home, me and her, she's black. We got in the van. They talking to me, not to her. He just started talking to me in Spanish, and I'm like, I don't speak Spanish. And he said no, and I said no. He said, why not? And I was like, because I'm not Latino. He was like,
no, habla español?
You're not Latino. I said, no. He said, what are you? So I told him. He was like, oh, but then continue to talk to me in Spanish.
Bye.
Yeah. So, I mean, I took Spanish like everybody else. I could understand a little bit, but not,
I mean, that's definitely real. And we'll talk more about that on this podcast in terms of traveling outside of the country. I'm weary at this point because of the state of our country and our State Department that places where maybe like gay people, queer people could have like slid by, even though like same-sex behavior or relationships are actually outlawed in that country. Places like Morocco, people have gotten by for years over there, but it also was what the understanding that our government wouldn't leave us there to rot. They would come pick up Americans.
Yeah, but not no more.
And so now it's like, hold on, if I'm in Dubai and I get arrested for being gay, I'm really on my own. So like,
I'm not going.
We'll talk about that later on in like terms of like travel, because like I love travel. Like
he loved travel.
I don't know how I picked up the travel bug, because
probably because you're a military.
Yeah,
kid.
Probably military. But even then, like I wasn't raised. Like, I only spent a little bit of time out of the country within my military upbringing. The rest of the time, we just moved around the United States. But traveling as a black person and then as a gay person, it's a very, very unique situation
is.
that you have to be incredibly aware of, and you just got to do your research. Like you can't just show up like a straight person or a white person to the airport
And
and
la-di-da.
yeah, and to be breaking laws and breaking rules.
Yeah.
You can't be doing that.
That's why I can't go to Africa. Like, oh, we should move to Africa. I'm like, I'm not going to Africa.
Where?
That whole continent is homophobic. I'm not going to Africa.
Truly.
No.
But to wrap up this conversation on Christmas, the last thing I did want to say is anybody who knows me. I would consider myself a part of the Beehive, an OG member, not one of them crazies who will defend that lady down for everything that she does. All I'm saying is she's a great performer, and I love her concerts and most of her music. She usually, like, she'll get me with her merch drops. And I'll find something that I like. Unfortunately, I will say, I don't know if she has been reading the room correctly.
No.
But this last drop for the holidays, I couldn't find not near a thing that I could be like, ooh, that would be cute. Nothing. And the price point is so high. It was just like, who is making this?
Is it the tariffs?
Who is this?
Is it listen?
And also, ain't nobody got money like that.
Listen, Jay-Z is my favorite rapper in the whole world. I will argue you down. I don't care who. Nobody beats him in the verses. I don't give a fuck who you put up against him. Nobody.
Drake.
Right? Please. Jay-Z, if you sampling my music and your music, you cannot beat me at nothing. Okay. But still my favorite rapper. I still listen to his music. However, I have been done with him. I call him Wig. I have been done with him since the whole thing with Colin Kaepernick, and not
in the NFL, right?
In the NFL. And it wasn't the Colin Kaepernick thing. It was when he sat up on the stage with Robert Kraft and all them dudes talking about the Moynihan report. And first of all, why are all the black people getting dragged because Colin Kaepernick want to take a knee? How was that? I don't understand. I never understood that. Like, how is this a black problem? Because this man in the national anthem, not hurting nobody, just wants to take a knee. Like, why was that such a thing? But when he sat up there and was talking about, oh, well, the reason why black people are because we don't have fathers in the home and all this old nonsense from like the 60s that has been way studied
like
and been like, this is bullshit. Even worse, because Bill Cosby was just being very nasty and very negative, which is just an opinion-based thing. But this dude was sitting up there like he was really speaking facts. And here go this report that proves what I'm saying. When anybody who's been to school ever knows that was like discredited in like the 70s and 80s. They showed what was wrong with it. I've been done with him since then because my thing is, like I said, if he wanted to kneel, I didn't understand why it had to be all that. But to me, that let me know. I was like, oh, he's not bright. He's not as bright as people. Yeah, he knows how to make money and he can be good at business. Listen, in the industry we work in and make good music. In the industry we work in, we come across people that are very good at the music business that are not smart. No, they're not smart like you think they are. They're just good at business, and they're ruthless. Crazy is when
you figure out some of those people are attorneys.
BSing
their way through their whole careers.
Basically, BSing their way. And the music industry, the whole Hollywood, a couple of these industries, they are industries that you can bullshit your way through sometimes because they're basically built on bullshit. Like, basically,
it's personality that gets people through their careers. And I've seen it so many times. I experienced it several times this year where I was on the other side of deals with very powerful attorneys, and I knew things that they didn't know, like substantively, like about, the law or about how just factually how things work. And the way they combated that was just getting real loud and trying to scream you down and talk you down and call you stupid. I'm just like, listen, I don't know what y'all think this is, but at some point the tables will turn and you will need something from me because I'm the next generation. I'm the next guard in the industry. So not to get too deep in that, but yes,
bother me.
Les, you are correct in saying that some people are not that smart and they have platforms and they think because they have a platform that they need to talk on everything. And then sometimes you just need to shut your mouth.
And at that point, I was like, oh, he's not bright. And not only is he not bright, he's not educated. Like, he doesn't read and he doesn't, like you said, they're not paying attention. They're not tuned into anything. Right. Because that let me know, like, not only are you not smart and nobody in your circle is. Because nobody came to you and been like, you can't do that. They making a fool of you. Right. And that's what it was. I was like, oh, damn, they got my favorite rapper up there looking like a Tom.
Yeah, so unfortunately, that is something that I see more and more with people. Like, when they, it was one thing when the celebrities got on Twitter, but once they really got in front of, like, not having their PR teams, like, run things by them anymore and just going straight to the public, like, even with the thing with when the woman was accusing Jay of the sexual assault, when he put out that statement, I was like, sir, you have a whole team of people. And I was like, I get you want to defend yourself, and I would be defending myself as well. But with the help of my highly, highly paid attorneys and my PR, like, emergency team to step in to be like, hey, this is what will make you seem like you are more culpable. And this will make you seem like, hey, I feel for that woman. And if that happened to her, I really want her to get justice. What I can say is that did not happen with me. Like, you could have worded it in a way to where it's just like, I absolutely stand by victims. I did not do this, and I can't wait to, get down to the facts of what really went down, because I can say with certainty I wasn't there. There's a way you could have said that or cleaned it up, and you didn't even have to say it yourself. You had multiple channels of people to fluff it up for you to where you didn't look crazy.
Your concern is at this level. My concern is down here, is at the grammar and how poorly written it was.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And how it sounded like you just got up out your bed and just said something.
He was
Why
like,
would you? That was so bad. You could have had
said,
Blue.
This is going out.
Right.
No, post it. Make it go live now.
You
put it out right now.
Blue read that and tell you that put the comma here. I was just like, but I've since heard a lot about that operation over there from several people, so I'm actually not surprised. And if you know the background of who runs it,
right,
you really would not be surprised, like what you're dealing with over there.
But yes, I wanted to put a bow thing. I know you brought up Jay's because I was talking about B, but I just wanted to say, very disappointed in that collection, that little capsule drop for the holidays. Okay, so wrap this up though. The last thing I definitely know you had some thoughts on was this K1 and Kalani situation.
Yeah. Well, K1 and Kalani are the intro, but it's really so I have said many times that so for gay men, I feel like y'all have a lot of stuff. Y'all have a lot of content directed towards y'all. Y'all have a lot of like
physical places together. Like
physical
bars,
places together,
like,
right?
What y'all got, like 2 lesbian bars here?
No,
in the
there's
city?
one left in the whole. No, well, yeah, there's 2 in the city, but like outside, they said there's like 3 in the whole country. Wow. But so we're also on my end. If y'all know, especially if y'all listen to the podcast, I'm always complaining about how people don't come out, or if they do come out, they play the like, is she, isn't she, or try to act like or the bisexuals with the quote finger. Like it's never just straight up, right? And then when we do have couples, we can never get anything, right? And this is why. So if you guys don't know, I feel like most people know Kehlani. Kehlani been in this game for a long time. And I don't know why she's just blowing up with Folded, because her whole catalog is amazing. She's one of the better R&B artists out here for a bit now. So, but anyway, she's just starting to blow up. So, K1 is a new UK-based artist that I got put on because I can't remember where. I think I was listening to something on Tidal, and she was like a feature artist on something. But
she's a singer?
Yeah, she's an R&B singer. And then her little, it wasn't even an EP. Like she released Close Off without Kehlani on it, on the apps, and I heard it and I liked it. And then she has like a little EP that she released that I liked. And she had a video on YouTube, so I liked her. Like I work in the industry, and I'm really I'm an attorney, but I really like the creative side, and I've always like. I'm old, but I'll keep my ear to the ground because I always try to like hear who's going to be coming up and who's going to be new. And I think that one. I discovered Cardi. If y'all listen to my podcast, y'all know I discovered Cardi, but we'll talk about that later. Or I didn't discover her, but I got to put on. Anyway, but I I was like, and I'm always looking for, this is what we've talked about a lot of
Yeah.
times, LGBT artist that comes out and is themselves and doesn't let
Right.
the industry put them in the box, or you got to head a dress, you got to heels, or you got to be super matte. Just be gay.
Yeah.
I promise you. It's not going to be for everybody, but there are so many people like me and other people out there just waiting for that.
Yeah, people like authenticity.
And I thought Little Nas X was going to be it, but he went
Yeah,
left. So,
unfortunately.
but I've been saying, like, just wait. There's going to be a queer artist that's going to come out mass presenting. That's key, because everybody love the gay girls that are film. Everybody love them.
Lesbian.
They for everybody. But I was talking about like a masked lesbian that's going to come out. Thought it was going to be Young M.A. She also went left. Plus, she
Oh,
was
God,
problematic
yeah.
in other ways.
Yes.
But so K1, if you don't know her, look her up. She's really good. I think she makes really good music. She's the one that's on the Close Off remix with Kehlani.
Yeah.
People think that's Kehlani's song. That's actually K1's song. Kehlani's the feature artist. So anyway, if you follow them at all, and which I do, which all the gay girls do, because we don't get anything, so we have to do our own detective work. We have to be on the YouTubes and the IGs and I think Tessa Thompson and Janelle Monáe is another case.
Oh,
I
wow.
was very late on that
I was
because
too.
I have been a fan of Tessa Thompson a really long time, but I did not follow Janelle Monáe so much. It took me a long time to get into her music, not because I didn't like it. It just I didn't think it was for me. So when that popped up, I was like, oh, wow. And then, you go on the line and you see that people actually have been putting the twos and twos together for a very long time. If you are in the sports, which I am, Paige Beckers and AZ Fudd, we all knew, us in the purse touching community all knew about that. No, not in person, the purse touching community that follows women's basketball, we all knew about that because we all noticed. It's not, they actually didn't really try to hide it. It's just that, when you're on the same team and you playing together, you don't want to, you kind of got to keep it professional.
Right,
so that's
right,
kind of
right.
what they were doing.
Which totally makes sense because you don't want it to become a distraction.
You don't want it to become a distraction. So that's what they were doing. They weren't really trying to hide it. But it was little stuff during the after game press conferences and during the game that people were picking up on, like, y'all go together, right?
Hand placement.
And like,
now why did y'all appear in the same
right,
place when none of your other teammates
right,
were there?
Right. And Paige, it's just little stuff. It's fun. I tell people it's very funny because if you watch the finals game from last year where they beat South Carolina, if you watch that game, there's so many little times during that game where it was clearly obvious. So when they popped out, all the straight people, y'all tend to do this, and I don't know if it's a latent homophobia or what, but y'all want to deny, they could just be friends. And we were like, girl.
And they could be.
They are not friends. They went to the draft together. AZ pressed her hair out, which she never does because she plays ball, so she don't got time to be having her hair pressed out. She pressed her hair out. She put on the I'm That Bitch dress because AZ Fudd, I don't know if you know, her body is crazy. I don't know what the nutrition and workout plan at UConn women's basketball is, but they on it. So she had the dress, and they went to and if you've ever watched, I don't really watch drafts, but if you've ever watched a draft, it's basically you sit at the table, the athletes sit at the table with either their wife, their girlfriend, or one person, or your mom or dad.
Right.
It's not a thing where you could just bring whoever. No. It gotta be. So she's sitting there with AZ. Not her daddy, not her mom, not even Coach Gino. Even Coach Gino was at the table over there. It was just her and AZ.
Right, because the cameras are going to be right next to you with the draft when it gets to your side.
Right, so us in the purse touching community looked at that, even though they actually popped out before that because they were at the All-Star game the year prior. But we looked at that as like, okay, this is their coming out. Like, what more do y'all need to see? Straight people still didn't believe it. Oh, that's her best friend. Bitch. They don't let your best friend sit with you at the draft. They don't do that. No. Right? So, and AZ cut like a special video for her. Like, you'll always be your biggest fan. And they had a whole setup on IG. We already knew. So we're like, okay, they're coming out. So it took a while. It wasn't until All-Star Weekend where the Stud Buds did the stream. And then you really saw. That's when people were like, oh, okay. I feel like, and AZ Fudd is funny. Because they stay up on IG. So AZ would do little stuff like to let you know, no, that is my girlfriend. And she got it was so funny because she got pissed off because even after they did that, they were still calling her Paige Becker's former teammate, right? So they were interviewing her at the games. And don't get me wrong, they weren't interviewing her because she's Paige's girlfriend. AZ Fudd was the number one probably the best. Last season was the best shooter in the country. This season is the best shooter in the country. She's a hell of a baller. She's a superstar on her own. She, so it's not that. It's not that. Like, she's like the best in. I mean, so she's a popular athlete all on her own. When she comes to the games to watch Paige, the crowd is lining up to get her autograph as well. So it's not like she's just a random girlfriend. Put that in there. So that's why she's getting interviewed on the camera in the first place, because she's AZ Fudd and she's coming back to UConn. They're gonna see if they can go back to back.
Right.
So all of this is going on, and they're like, oh, so we have Paige Bucker's former roommate, AZ Fudd, and every time they say that, AZ would look like, but all them UConn girls are very well trained.
Yeah.
Very well media trained. I mean, they are. UConn's women basketball, if you guys don't know, is like the LA Lakers or the what's an elite, the LA dot whatever, like the elite program. They have 12 national championships. They are the elite women's program. They're like the Lakers. They're like the Bulls. They're like the Pistons. They are very well media trained. They're very professional. Their whole operation is so you're never going to catch any of those players slipping, because it's just, that's UConn. So she handled it well, but you could tell. So every time that would happen, she would go on IG and she would do something more to show, this is my girlfriend.
Right.
But they would still be like, so you guys are best friends, and she would be sitting there like
that's part of it, yeah.
But she got pissed off because now it's clearly out and everybody knows, because everybody went crazy to the point that they have to pull themselves off of social media because people do the weird shit. So she was at so UConn is back now, so she's at practice because Paige has graduated.
Yeah.
And the reporter, and my thing is, if you're going to interview anybody in anything, I feel like you should know something about what you're doing. Don't ask dumb questions, right?
Brand new.
He shows up and he says, so, how about any of your former teammates? Like, because you're leading the team now, with Paige gone. Do you talk to any of the Diana Taurasi's, or do you talk to any of your former teammates to get any kind of clues? Do you still stay in contact with them? And she went like it was a white. She said, wow, that's crazy. And then went and answered. She didn't even answer his question, because it's like, what are you asking me now?
She's like, do you want me to turn up right now?
She was like, so anyway. But people got really weird and started. So Paige's birthday was recently. AZ didn't wish her happy birthday on social media. So people were saying they broke up. And it's like, y'all, she probably didn't wish her a happy birthday on social media because they're together in person. Also because y'all are fucking weird.
Right.
And y'all, like, strolling people's social media. They was, oh my God, it just gets ridiculous. So
oh my gosh.
Paige and AZ,
No.
they call him Paisy. They had put us on punishment. We don't get none of the inside stuff that we used to do. Like, they keep it from us. Although, every now and then they'll give us a little something. But we've been put on punishment. So when K1, I said all that to say, when K1 and Kaylani popped out, it was a similar thing.
Okay.
And they popped out. I had been saying that they going to get now it's a little bit different, because Kaylani and K1 were doing the Jay-Z and Beyonce thing where they were denying they were together. They were denying they were together, but they were clearly together. I knew they were together because I know what it looked like when people are doing that. Right. I feel like we've all done that at some time, and I just know what that looked like. Like, girl, y'all ain't fooling nobody. But all right, if y'all want to say y'all not together, that's fine. We maybe they want her to be single for the audience. I'm not really sure, but you ain't fooling me, right? So finally, and I think K1 is really strict, and I think and plus when people saw that close off video, I was like, I don't kiss my best friend like that. Now, listen, if we best friends, and I better look, Tyrone, I ain't trying to pay nobody for this video. Just come down and be in a video real quick. Play my boyfriend. We going to do this. Cool. But we ain't going to kiss like that. Like, no. I ain't kissing my best friend like that. Like,
no.
that is not the first time they kissed. So, they finally popped out, I think, because it was getting on K1's nerves. So, they finally popped out, and she was like, she did a TikTok like, people are always talking about my wife and pointing to Kaylani.
Right.
So, and there was a rumor, that I don't know how true it was, but there was a rumor that Kaylani got married and then got annulled real quick. So I don't know what was up with that. They did pull up the court paperwork, but I don't know what's up with that. But anyway, they did that, and oh my God. The people went fucking crazy. They done pulled up all of Kaylani's dating history, going all the way back to like Kyrie Irving.
Being so weird.
All being very weird. And the girl, first of all, Kaylani has already said she's a serial lover. She has a song called Serial Lover. Okay? She understands that. This is why y'all are 45 and can't find anybody, because you
Ooh,
are
she's
still
taking
stuck
she's
up.
taking it
You are still
there.
stuck on a person that broke up with you in 22. When both of them are, Kaylani just turned 30. Both of them are in their 20s. When
She
you
just
are in,
30?
she just turned 30. When you are in your 20s, you are supposed to roll through bitches or hoes or dudes, whatever you prefer, like dice. You are not. You are supposed to just keep
Right.
trying until you find the one you like. You
Right.
don't have to settle with the first one. Maybe y'all was
No.
in love on Tuesday, but you know what? I actually really don't like this person. Let's break up. Let's find the next one.
Right.
You are supposed to do that. That is what your 20s are for. That's how you find out the kind of person you like, the kind of person you don't like,
Right.
the kind of person you are, the kind of person you're not. Because I promise you, when you're 30, what you want and look for in a person is going to be so much different than when you were 22 and when you were 18. It's just
Yeah.
different. You mature. And, you know, that's just natural. So I don't have no problem. Yes, Kaylani runs through the hoes. Okay? She does. Before she came out, she ran through the dudes. And since she came out, she done been connected to Victoria Monet, SZA, what's her name? The basketball one from UConn. I forgot the trainer, her name. 070 Shake.
Wow. Yeah, that was official.
Yeah, 070 Shake. It's been a few. She runs through the hoes, and now she's with K1. So I don't know if that's why they didn't want to say anything, but they have both said they've been together a lot longer than people thought.
Yeah.
Now people making TikToks. How you make a TikTok about a stranger? You don't even fucking know.
Yeah.
Making a TikTok. I don't know what K1 doing, because K-Line, first of all, then they mad because K1 she only like light skinned people. She only like people that look like her.
What are y'all talking about? Y'all
So
don't
what
know
if she
this, like,
do?
you have no clue who this lady likes.
Don't know this, like, well, she do got a type. But
Well,
so
I'm
what?
saying, like, also, you don't know the people she's dated who haven't been in the
So
public eye.
she made a video on Address That. She was like, people think I have a type, but that's not true. She was like, I might have a little bit of a type. She was like, but I got variety. Like, I've run through. Victoria, to me, is not light skinned.
Oh, I mean, me and Victoria, the same skin
Right,
tone.
SZA's not light skinned. Kyrie is not light skinned. She was like, I don't know what y'all talking about.
It's a narrative that they want to portray.
Right.
This because people just pick the weirdest things to hone in on that have to usually stem from
Because
their own insecurities.
That's what I'm about to say, because you want to get chose, and so when somebody's not choosing your type, you take offense at it.
So,
But I always say, who you are with, that is the one area where you could be as
discriminatory
prejudiced and
as
discriminatory
possible.
if you want to. If you don't want to date dark skinned people, you don't have to date dark. And it's just a fact, and it may hurt your feelings.
Right.
But if I don't that's the one place. Remember that TikTok where the white guy was driving across country dating a different girl in each state, and it was
Oh, I don't remember that
there
one.
was a regular looking white guy. He was a regular looking white guy. He was driving across country. He was dating a girl in every state, and they were online talking about how he could be in Hawaii and not date an indigenous girl. Bitch, because he don't want an indigenous girl. He want a white woman. He want a white girl. He date white girls. That's fine.
The real question too is like, why are you so pressed to be with someone
To
who
be
doesn't
with-
want to be with you?
But it's not even that he didn't want to be. It's just that's what he likes. If he likes a white guy, like what is wrong with you?
Right.
So they just been going on and on and on, and she gonna use you, and she only like light skin. Then there's this rumor that supposedly Kaylani always takes people from people. So they're saying that. So
Why
that's
are you so concerned?
It's weird. It's very weird.
Why are y'all
Very weird. And
purse watching?
making whole TikToks, making whole things to the point where at the shows they were getting on K1's now, because she's on tour now. So she had to make a TikTok. Well, she didn't have to.
She wanted to address it. Yeah.
This is where the generations are different. I'm Gen X. If that were me, if I posted my video of my girl, especially Kaylani, and everybody got upset about it, every video from that point on would be me with my tongue so far down that girl's throat. Every single fucking video. Y'all would be pissed. Y'all would be mad. Y'all would be screaming. Y'all would be crying. Y'all would be throwing up. Because I would post the most outrageous stuff. I would never, I hope you don't like it, I would never address. But she got online because there's this artist called, have you heard of Sasha Keeble?
Yes.
Okay, so K1, I don't know. I feel like they did go together because I feel like her entire EP, her first EP is about that. But supposedly either they were friends, they met, and maybe they went together, don't know.
Okay.
But the rumor is that Kaylani broke them up. K1 says that is not true. He says when me and Kaylani met, we were both single. I don't know who Kaylani was single off of, but it says they were both single. And that these rumors are not true. She don't have to explain herself, but because they were in their mentions, they had to delete the post.
Oh wow.
Because they were
Ooh.
in their mentions saying, "Oh, I mean, just like you don't know
Why
these
people being
people.
so weird?
You don't know these people. Why are you being so weird?" I'm fucking happy for them. I think they're a cute couple. Like I said, I think they get along well, and they're two really good. Or they make good music together.
Yeah.
And I think K1 is going to be a big star because on stage, her stage presence is off the charts. She's a good voice. She has a good music, and again, I think she's going to be huge. I tried to get our organization, but they were not interested. So,
yeah, it feels so odd to me that, and I guess this honestly comes a little bit back to stan culture, and
that's exactly what it is.
And it's like, and I think people doing this parasocial relationship stuff and living out their lives through strangers.
Losers.
I think what it is like you gotta find the happy medium or happy balance of being a fan of someone, but also constantly reminding yourself that you don't know these people.
You don't know these people, and that they're people.
And it's like, I get representation, and I think that's fine, but representation is literally it's still just like strangers representing a portion of your identity. You don't know these people. You can't make demands of them. You could express your frustration if you are like disappointed with them for like a moral stance, or they took some political stance. You're just like, oh, that's disappointing because I was a fan of your X, Y, and Z. You still don't know that person.
Still don't know 'em.
But you could say like, I'm disappointed in that, but keep it pushing. I think you add that on top of the fact that people are so hungry to be relevant and have some type of internet fame, and they always want to be making content about shit, and they want to go viral, and it's just like, what are we doing here? Like, go get a job. Be good at your job.
Go touch the grass.
Have a family. Go make friends. Go on dates. These are strangers. You wouldn't dare say some of the stuff you say about celebrities to strangers you see on the street, because they would pop you in your face.
Mouth. Wouldn't say it to the celebrities either.
No.
That's what kills me. Like, y'all get so big and bold.
Some of them are getting bold enough now to do that. But
maybe. Y'all get so big and bold on tapping with your thumbs, smoke coming out your thumbs while you are tapping on this social media. And I grew up in the day where we fought.
Right.
And so that's why I'm just different. I know the millennials and a little longer. Y'all, in my opinion, y'all take social media way too serious. Nothing anybody ever says through a phone will ever bother me. I do not care.
And honestly, we got to stratify. We have to clarify, like, the elder millennials versus, like, the middle millennials.
The zillennials.
And the younger millennials.
Millennials always want to make sure you know that it's not all of them. Let me tell you,
like, I'm from the era, and we'll wrap it up because this has been quite long for a first episode. This is a good way to end it. You'll see this play out a lot on the sort of generational differences, and whatever we talk about is Kelly is firmly Gen X, firmly like
born in the 70s,
and I am firmly a millennial, born in the 80s. So, like, we have different stances, but I think because we have similar interests and very similar moral stances, that you'll see the convergence and the divergence whenever we talk about things. But I think what it is that the people who are younger, so much of their lives have been lived out on social media and the internet, and so to them it is the real world. It is the realest thing because they don't know anything else. But people like me, who's in the elder millennial category, I remember when the internet was invented. I remember when
little disc you had to put in your
computer. I remember having to use our home encyclopedia set to do book reports.
Come on, World Book.
Like, I remember having to type in commands into MS-DOS when I wanted to play Commander King or Gus's Cybertown. Like, these are things that, because I have it on both sides of the spectrum, I'm much more grounded in what is, like, legitimate, what's reality, what's worth my time and effort. And I think, honestly, the younger generations, they've just been at a disadvantage because so much of their life, my niece who's 13 years old, so much of her life has been lived out on Roblox and little things.
I don't even know what that is.
And all that stuff. Yes. And so I would really encourage the younger people, not that it's probably many of you listening to this podcast or watching it, but, like, if you have interests that are outside of what the people around you are interested in, pursue them. If you have stuff that you want to do, like find like-minded people off the internet. Go do
Read a
things in
book.
real life. Like, and it's okay to be bad at stuff too. Like you don't have to
Yes.
be good at stuff. You know how many things I
Yes.
do now I'm not good at, but I just
Yes.
do it for personal
And you
fulfillment.
don't have to monetize everything.
Everything is not
And you don't have to
monetizable
be
even.
a pro at everything.
Absolutely.
Just
It's
play basketball if you like basketball. Your chances of going to NBA are very low.
yes.
But but there's so much more that you learn out of sports besides that. You learn discipline.
Right.
You learn teamwork. You learn working hard. Like, you know what? I didn't make the team this year, so I'm going to double down this
Absolutely.
summer. I'm going to work out. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to shoot all the shots, and I'm going to make it next year. You know what a good fit? Well, I always made the team. But for those who didn't, you know how good a feeling that is?
Right,
To
right.
finally make the team because you worked hard.
Absolutely. So, just, as we come to the close of this episode, if you take any way from this episode and any future episodes that we may do, it's that we are going to be ourselves on here. We want everybody to be themselves. And that may mean that everyone doesn't like you. And girl, that is fucking okay.
Yes. And
That is okay.
Okay.
You will
Everybody
find
don't
your
have to like
people,
you.
you will find your audience, and you will connect with those folks, and y'all will thrive together. So, on that note, thank you everyone for listening. We don't have a name yet. We know we don't have a name. We ain't got no logo up there.
Nothing.
But if y'all like this, we'll do more of it, and we'll get our shit together.
To be continued. This is just a drop for the holidays. Everybody have a good holiday, good
Yes.
Thanksgiving, good Christmas, good New Year's, and we will see y'all on the other side.
All right, bye.
Peace.